Hello everybody, Kai Waza with you. Welcome to another edition of the Cheap Lounge. This is where we get together and discuss some of the vinyl recordings, the cheap, inexpensive dollar bin record vinyl recordings that I have uploaded this week and digitized onto my Moody Mood Music radio station on live365.com, which you can listen to anytime, and that is linked below. First off, this is Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians. The record is called This Is My Country.
Old Man River, that old man river, he must know something, but don't say nothing, he just...
So as you can imagine, well, first off, let me say this is actually, this record is put out by Longines Symphonette Recording Society, as you see here, and it actually still is in its little lovely inner liner that it came with. But this was one of those freebie albums that came with, or was a companion with, this box set, Younger Than Springtime, which is Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians. So this was the companion or freebie album that went with that, or perhaps was sent out to, other people who ordered other sets, that like saying, hey, check this out, get more of it like that from Younger Than Springtime. Fred Waring was born in Pennsylvania, so props to him for keeping to his roots, calling his group the Pennsylvanians. Fred Waring also was a backer, a financial sponsor, and a promoter of what became known as the Waring Blendor, which was one of the first commercially available blenders on the market. And I don't know how successful that was or what he really got from that, but there you go. So as far as, he went to Penn State University also, and interestingly, he tried to get onto the Glee Club at Penn State several times and it was rejected every year, which is kind of funny because then he goes on to found this vocal group, the Pennsylvanians, that was so famous, and he couldn't even get into the Glee Club. And he did eventually drop out of college. He had a banjo band to start with, and that was so successful. They were having success with that, so he just skipped college and never went back. Particularly, I like the arrangement of Dry Bones on here. I think it's kind of a cute song, and they did a cute arrangement of it. This Is My Country, Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians. Okay, moving along. This is a record by a group called the 50 Guitars of Tommy Garrett, Viva, Mexico. Now, Tommy Snuff Garrett, that was his nickname, high school dropout from Dallas, and ended up on the radio at 17 years of age. DJ, ended up working for Liberty Records at age 19 as a producer, and eventually had his own record labels for a while, Viva and Snuff Records. And then he did this thing here where he had this idea that he wanted to do records, instrumental records with a lot of guitars, a bunch of guitars. That was kind of his idea, and that's how the 50 Guitars was born. I don't know if there were actually 50 guitars. I don't know if anybody knows. I mean, really, I don't know. But had really great success with this series. They did over 25 records, the 50 Guitars of Tommy Garrett, including they did a Hawaiian one and an Exotica one called Return to Paradise that I really love. And I really like the 50 Guitars concept and the arrangements, and I've enjoyed every one of those records that I have had so far. I believe, I can't verify it 100% fact, but I believe from what I've seen that this is Tommy Snuff Garrett. incognito, sort of. But if you have a chance to pick up any 50 Guitars records of Tommy Garrett, I think they're great. Next up, this is a record that was sent to me by my friend in the Netherlands in a package of stuff of like Hawaiian European budget label and some kind of mood music, easy listening stuff. This is a nice record from Ron Goodwin and his orchestra called Adventure. Ron Goodwin really is best known. This record, by the way, is from 1966 on Studio to Stereo Records, Columbia EMI. Really is known for his film scoring. He scored over 70 films in his lifetime and had great success with that. This one has several film themes on it that he wrote. Theme from 633 Squadron, Elizabethan Serenade, it's not his. Song of the High Seas, not his. Under the Linden Tree, not his. Theme from The Trap, that was his composition. Girl with a Dream, that's his composition. Theme from Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, that's his. Girl from Corsica, that's not his. Headless Horseman is his. Theme from Of Human Bondage, I like that one particularly, that's his. Miss Marple's theme from all the Miss Marple movies, he did that theme. And also of his composition, the theme from Operation Crossbow. And yeah, he also did a lot of arranging work for other artists other than just scoring films. And he, as an arranger, had over 100 songs on the charts, 100 records on the chart with him as the arranger. That's Ron Goodwin.
Hello, I'm on the cover of an album called That Aldrich Feeling by Ronnie Aldrich and his twin pianos. And I thought Ronnie and I were on our very last legs in a bin in a thrift store. I'm sure it was just a matter of days before Ronnie and I were tossed aside, were thrown into the garbage heap, destined to be rotting away in infinity. But I was saved from that fate by Moody Mood Music on Live365.com. Ronnie and I were chosen and uploaded onto an easy listening radio station that gives records like me and my friends another chance at life. Won't you please help us? Please help a vinyl record and tune in to Moody Mood Music on Live365.com. The records thank you.
Now we're up to a box set. This is not too big of a box set. This is a 6 LP one. This is from Reader's Digest, put out in 1972. The Swing Years, original performances by 24 top bands playing 72 top tunes from 1936 to 1946. So a 10-year period, sort of considered the height of the swing band era. Glenn Miller, Guy Lombardo, Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Wayne King, Artie Shaw, Duke Ellington, Sammy Kaye, Freddie Martin, Hal Kemp, and many more. And you probably maybe recognize a lot of those names. They were, very well-known people. Now this is the collector's edition. Like, I don't know if there was a non-collector's edition made, but not only will they tell you what's on that particular record, but on the back, there's like information about each song, and I really, really appreciate that they did this.
So you met someone, and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. know you gave her your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And she broke it in little pieces. Now how do you do? Don't lie awake, just singing the blues all night.
Typical of the Reader's Digest things, it has great paper paraphernalia to show you other releases that they had that were available that you could order. Because these were not sold in stores, they were things. This has this thing also, a little booklet to tell you about the big bands, or the swing bands, and some of their recordings. And there's also, this thing where you can order it for your friends. You can order copies of it and send it to your friends. And another little thing in here, the latest Reader's Digest albums. This must be like the last minute release. Very nice box set if you like the swing era music. A lot of variety on it. Finally today, John Davidson. The album is called My Cherie, Amour. I'm sure we all know that Stevie Wonder song.
A cafe, or sometimes on a crowded street. I've been near you, but you never ever noticed me. Oh, Cherie, Amour, won't you tell me?
So, who was John? Who is? He is still living as I'm recording this. Who is John Davidson? So John Davidson, if you're around in the 70s, I'm sure you probably kind of know who he is. He was sort of a celebrity, not just a singer. I mean, I think he was very definitely an actor. Really started out acting. His first appearance in The Happiest Millionaire in 1967. And then he did quite a few films. He also did a lot of television in his time, and was the host of several game shows, and also was a fairly regular person to appear on the Hollywood Squares. I say this because I do also remember him on the Hollywood Squares. He's the son of a couple of Baptist ministers, and definitely, I think part of his success is due not only to his singing, but, and acting, of course, but just his really good looks, because he was just like this all-American, clean-cut looking guy, right? Very good-looking guy, and kind of had that demeanor to him. And so on the Hollywood Squares, they commented, like the producers commented, that they loved to make sure he had fake answers quite often, because he was so believable. People would really believe him, and he would give these long explanations of why something was true or wasn't true or whatever it was, and give kind of long explanations and la 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 la, and people would almost always agree with him and say that he was the correct one when he wasn't. He was lying all the time on this show, but kind of funny. This was not one of the albums that made the charts, but it's very typical of his albums, which is that not doing original songs, but he just tends to sort of cover other people's, popular hits at the time. For example, this one has Happy Heart, the love theme from Romeo and Juliet, You've Made Me So Very Happy, My Way, which he did slightly different lyrics to, because he said he didn't want to disrespect like Frank Sinatra. Very smart guy. We've talked about this before. Didn't want to disrespect Frank Sinatra because he really was just young in the career and whatever, and he didn't want to make it sound like he's done it all, so he changed the lyrics just slightly on that. Friend, Lover, Woman, Wife, My Cherie, Amour, Blessed is the Rain, High Heel Sneakers, Windows of Your Mind, The Letter, in California Bloodlines. So, 1969, this record is from. Okay, friends. That's it for this edition of The Cheap Lounge. I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, if you are interested, you can hear selections from all of what I've just shown you. It's all already digitized, it's already uploaded and featured on Moody Mood Music. We do have a feature of at a minimum, every half hour there is an announced new selection, new music to the station. That's going to be from these albums here in the week or two previous. So you will have an opportunity to hear selections from these albums if you tune in, if you feel so motivated. Okay, that's it for this week. Or until next time, I may be doing them more than once a week because I need to crank out some of these records here. We'll talk to you next time, and have a good week, and take care.